somehow, I've had the privilege of working with you, and I know how busy your time is, how tight it is. And hearing you today talk about the things you are doing with your time, the official, the remote jobs, and the rest, and you are a mother and a wife, I'm trying to put it together in my head. How do you cope with your time? Because these are young adults, and sometimes you meet with them, they will tell you, I don't have time. I don't have time. But hearing you, something is telling me it's like you have more than 48 hours in a day. So I need to learn from you. Thank you, man.
Okay, so the first thing is, if it's
Are you saying-
important, you will create time for it. If that thing, sure, the bottom line is it important? Because for me, I want to find out, this thing, is it worth my time? The time I spoke, I talked about a place at work. As at 2005, I was working, 2005 or 2006, I was working in Adax Petroleum, and I was paid 23,000 a day. That was 2005. That thing taught me a lesson. I got to know the value of my time. So if I'm invited for a function, or I have to go somewhere, I have to do something, the first question is it worth my time? And that's why even in looking for a job, like, it's not every offer I will take, really. Is it worth the time? If it is worth time, I will do it. And because you have found that it's worth your time, get time for it. I said before, I was doing one job, I was tired. Now I'm doing two jobs, I am tired. Is it not better to do the two jobs and be tired? I know that I'm making more money. So for me, it's how important is it? Is it going to add value to me? Am I going to get something out of it? Then you find that we have more than enough time, honestly. It's just that the irrelevant, or we have a lot of distractions. So once I have things to do, takes away my distraction. I tend to focus. This is the target. So like I wake up a day, my day starts by 6 o'clock, and I may not get until 12:01. Yes. Because I just look at myself, I still have the strength. I still have the time. The time will come, I will not be able to do it. So why don't I do it now? I can do it. So how do I do it? I do it because it's important. I do it because I have to. And so somehow, when I was trying to start the project management course, I was asking myself, can you do it? And I found that yes, I am taking an extra hour, 1 hour every day for course. And I'm still able to do the things I'm able to. So is it important? Yes. Can I do it? Yes. Then I go for it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can you appreciate her for that? Is it important? If yes, can I do it? If yes, then do it. Like Nike will always say, just do it. All right. Now, Rosalind, yesterday when you were talking, you mentioned the fact that, okay, when you got into I think it was IAT. Is it IAT now? Okay, yes. You got into IAT, and then you got to know about Advan, and the fact that they give awards and the rest of that. You began to work on some things to see how the organization can get awards, and also yourself. That is about packaging. Now, we have a lot of young adults here who are doing one or two things, beautiful things. Some are fashion designers, some are into catering and confectionaries, and the rest of that. Some are also into digital stuff. But the challenge we have is many don't know how to package. What advice would you have for them so that they can turn their talent into multiple millions?
Okay. So like you said, it all starts with the packaging. And when I explained yesterday, I talked about the fact that before I made my marketing strategies, my marketing plans, I tried to look at the criteria that Advan required, for the submission of awards. So that helped me to kind of guide the way I made my marketing plans, so that at the time of submission, I know that I have everything picked. and I was able to, submit and compete, favorably. So and I mentioned yesterday too that I know a lot of young people have actually done things that are award worthy. The only challenge is being able to bring it together and ensure that it's well packaged, and having understanding or knowing, being aware of the platforms in your space where you play. So like you said, those who are into fashion and designing, not tailoring, like I've learned today, those who are into quite a number of people gave me their cards yesterday, and they're into confectionaries, baking. I was really very impressed about it. So you would just need to, first of all, marketing itself has a background, or let's say fundamental pillars of the 4P. So first of all, you ask yourself, am I playing competitively, in the way my product is being packaged and given to the consumers? Is it competitive when you look at yourself and look at your competitors? Is my price quite favorable? Am I at the right place? Am I actually distributing to the right target audience, or is there an opportunity? Am I promoting this product is there something special about how I'm actually promoting this product? So by the time you've looked at all those things you're doing, and you're able to, package them well together, then look for the platforms that are around you know. So if there is maybe an institution, let's say for fashion designers, that gives them opportunity to come out and compete. Yes, we might say it's very conventional, but I know GT Bank gives like an opportunity for those who are into fashion. So the GT Fashion Week, or things like that, that will help push you out. Try to understand how it is within the category where you play. Put yourself out there, and try to understand. When you understand what your competitors are doing, it will help you sharpen yourself as well. So as you sharpen yourself, you put yourself out there. So just imagine Rosy Fashions. Now I'm able to go to the GT Fashion Week, and I have the people who are kind of on the runway for me, and I'm able to compete. You'll be able to kind of check where you stand versus what the market is currently offering. So with that, your current, you're competitive. Then you'll be able to listen and hear. Maybe there are some competitions that are open internationally that you can enter for. Those kind of things. The most important thing is to pay attention, be current, and understand where, try to get information, be up to date on where these opportunities are, and, those platforms that you really need to shine. With that, you'll be able to throw yourself up and you'll be able to shine.
Wow, thank you very much. Place, price, packaging, paying attention, taking advantage of opportunities where you can shine. All right. And now, before I come to Pastor Maker, somebody is asking a very techie question. How can we take advantage of the stock market to get portfolio income? I don't know whether I have gotten to that level yet, but let me assume. But before I come to that, let me quickly speak to Sister Lutana. I know you are a startup entrepreneur, and yesterday you mentioned in passing when you were talking that the policies of the government is not encouraging businesses and the rest of that, which is true. But my question is this: how have you been able to overcome those challenges? Because that is just one challenges that I'm sure you might have faced in the course of your business. How do you overcome challenges as an entrepreneur?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. There are different challenges at different levels. Certification challenge, getting NAFDAC, and the rest of it. And I think I quite mentioned about how to go about NAFDAC yesterday. Then there's also the challenge of getting your product into the market to be accepted into the market. There's also the challenge of being able to financially manage your resources as a startup. Many people start up a company and because they have the resources, they want to get a lot of things, they want to get this equipment, immediately they research about it, about this particular equipment, they want to get it, they want to get this, they want to get this. You know, it's very paramount that before you engage into spending your resources unwisely, you should get mentorship. You should, either join an association that are of experienced entrepreneurs or people that are already into it and ask questions. If possible, visit already made, people that have already started and they have scaled through some of the things. And if you have the opportunity, see, and they are into the niche you are, let's assume food or cosmetics or whatever, see the equipment they are using at the moment and be able to ask questions. You can never go wrong asking questions. The highest somebody would say is you ask a lot of questions, but you know why you're asking the questions. You will be able to know. Then also, there's also a place for collaboration and partnership. Starting up, you might not have all it takes, and there might be some things that will be very tedious at the start. There's nothing wrong outsourcing. Outsourcing some of your processes to help you buy more time to be able to do other things. Then also, there are also some associations cannot be ruled out. There are some clique of people or association or partnership you will be in that will propel you and help you get top-notch information per time, or will help you to come in space. I will take, for example, something led me with some other people, I think aside me and the personal assistant of United Nations ambassador to Ghana. We visited Ghana as an expatriate to think about food processing technology and how to set up industrial hubs across some certain region in Africa, starting with Nigeria and Ghana. You know, being in that space of those caliber of people and having to visit some other places and have to pitch products, bring up projects, pitch to potential international investors, opened up my mind to a lot of opportunities. And also there was something strategic those meetings did to me. It made me to understand my markets the more. It made me to meet people in the top layer. I was able to meet a woman and talk to a woman that, I think she's the owner of, in the world or in Africa, aside Indonesia, she is the highest producer of Sabatol in the whole of Africa. And in the world, I think she's the second person. Yemisi, we might, research on her. And immediately I get to her, I needed to connect to her. I needed to say, Ma, please, I wouldn't mind coming to learn from you, coming to, just even work in your factory. So opportunities like that is what is needed. Don't just do your core research very well before you, get into those things to sidetrack and also circumvent some of those challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure she deserves a clap. All right. Thank you so very much. Pastor Emeka, I'm still coming to you. Just wait first. You know you're my friend. Pastor Tony, yesterday you mentioned that you started a school, and within 4 years, you've been able to open another school, and you're opening the third one. Now, somebody's asking, in so many ways, I have tried starting up a business. When I start, it doesn't last, and I don't know why. And I'm sure it's not village people. So, I've started, it's not lasting. You've started, you're progressing. How are you doing it?
Okay, so thank you for the question. First of all, we are called to start new things. Very important. And then, but in starting anything, it's important that we understand what we are starting. Yesterday I talked about 3 very, very important laws that we should know. The first one is that of mind transformation. You must see the end of your business even before you start it. So what this does for you is that till you get your goal, you will never relent. Now, what does the law of process do for us? The law of process teaches us how to endure per time, endure each season. Life is made up of different seasons, right? And if a particular season doesn't end, then the next season will not stop. So what most of us do is that we abort our breakthroughs at almost the, at almost the time it's about to come. So that time that discouragement is coming, that time that challenge is there, is the time that you should put in more effort, knowing that you've not yet gotten to the end of, So what do? We're supposed to enter our wealthy places even before we get into it. We talked about being able to build something 2 times. 1 in your mind, and then 2 physically. So once you've been able to achieve it in your mind, my dear brothers, my dear sisters, dear brethren, please don't give up until you see that desired result. Once you are able to build it in your mind, once you've conceived the idea and you've seen the end from it. Look at Abraham. Abraham almost, if not for the mercies of God, right, almost aborted Isaac by thinking that the child from the bondwoman is going to be Isaac. But God's mercy is and that is the same mercy that we are all exposed to. So please, being able to see the end from the beginning is what will help every one of us. Joseph almost fell into the same thing, where he thought, for some people, it may look like, wow, being the head in Potiphar's house is my brothers bowing down before me. But he knows that is not it. And that is why we quoted that Philippians chapter 4 verse 8, that whatsoever things are just, whatever things are of good report, right? This is what we should be thinking about. So please, don't abort. I use the word, abortion is not a good word. Do you understand? So don't abort that idea, because that is just one of the challenges. In fact, there are a lot of people that don't invest in their businesses today. These are very intelligent people, very intelligent people, but they are not patient. They will never be patient. When you put that money in their business, just give them few months. They will not come tell you, I'm no more interested in this, I'm no more interested in this. Therefore, please, don't do what? Abort. Always remember this law of process, it helps a lot that I will not give up. It's just a matter of time. I will not give up. It's just a matter of time. Yes, you can imagine when we started, we had their challenges, a lot of it. Like our sister says, just to buttress what she talked about, collaboration. We needed to collaborate. We didn't have the whole money to buy the building when we started. But thank God we had the wisdom to ask for lease. So if maybe we said, we don't have the money now, so because of this location, that is where we needed, okay, so we're not going to start. Then we may not have started that school now. But while we were praying, a thought came. Go and ask the owner, will he lease for us? And he accepted to lease. Lo and behold, the amount to lease is lower than the amount to buy. We leased, but as I speak with you now, we've bought the place. Right? So we leased to start. And over time, before 3 years, they approached us and said, pay. And we paid, and now we are the owner of the place. Why? Because we've seen the end of Isaiah chapter 1, and then chapter 60, we've seen verse 22, that says that a little one shall become what? 1,000, and then a small one shall become a strong nation. So if you've not yet become formidable, don't pull out, right? So be patient, still put in your best. If you needed to collaborate, getting people to collaborate with. If you needed some kind of partnership, do that. And then you will surely bet this your dream. And this dream is not still in the idea form. It has to come physical. Remember Abraham we talked about yesterday, when he came to his wedding place, he built an altar. Physical, something that we can see. So if you've not yet put your name in Rosalind said something yesterday that when she got to Istanbul, everybody that sees her already has known her story. And they're, oh, you are the Rosemary, you are the Rosemary. And they were like shaking her because, let me not use the word she has arrived. But to a level, she has arrived. But for her, she knows that she's still going somewhere. Next time, maybe next year when she comes here, she may tell us now she's the head of something higher than where she is now, right? So please, don't abort that dream. Don't abort that dream. Once it is from God, don't abort it. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you very much, sir. Now, while I take Pastor Emeka before he disfriend me, if you have your question, can you raise your hand from the audience? 1, come forward, come forward, come forward, come forward, quickly, quickly, quickly. 2, come forward, just come and stay by my side here. All right. Now, Pastor Emeka, thank you very much, sir.
Sorry, would you mind running?
Okay, the question. Pastor Tony said that everything is done twice. I have asked him in my mind, so let me ask him physically. How can we take advantage of the stock market to get portfolio income?
Okay, praise God. Before I go deep into answering that question, you see, one thing I've noticed, I like formulas. I like principles because principles are universal. They don't fail. Doesn't matter whether you're black or white. Everywhere, the same result. Now, there is a principle that this, my brother Tony, applies too much. And I love him deeply for that. That's the principle of mentorship. Bro Tony, you didn't tell us, that's what you've told me many times, I repeat in my head. How many consultants did you speak with before you started that school? And he doesn't just look for those that will give him the idea for free or the counsel for free. He will pay to be told what to do. There's a project he is trying to do right now, and he told me that after preparing for this project, he has paid, but on a second thought, I need to ask for more counsel. And he paid again, and that the last counsel he got is costing him so much to execute, but he doesn't mind. Reason, I want excellence at the end. Please note this. There is just nothing you want you cannot get. Today, I make bold to say, I know my boss may hear this thing I'm saying. He might have heard me before. I say that the reason I'm working with him today is because of him. I have other opportunities to get jobs, but I won't go. This man I'm looking at is carrying something I love, and I must learn it. He can tell me anything he wants. He is a strong man. When I say strong man, he will rebuke you, correct you, guide you, all with the desire that you become the best. Till tomorrow, we are meeting tomorrow by 9 a.m. He will pummel me. He's going to hit me, and I know. I'm already preparing my body. Because he will tell me that what you are doing is nothing. You're not achieving anything. And inside my mind, I say, hey, this is Emeka that is supposed to be wonderful. But what is he doing? He wants you to get better. Sometimes he will tell me, this work you are doing is too junior. By now, you should have been here. And I keep moving. Mentorship. Somebody say mentorship.
Mentorship.
Please, get a mentor. Get a mentor. You can never go wrong with getting a guidance. You can't go wrong with getting he's a consultant, someone who has achieved what you want to achieve, or who knows how to achieve what you are going to achieve. But I notice that whenever you come to someone who has achieved something, you start asking him for the result, the fruit of the result. That's not what you need. So please, get to know that the reason your business did not succeed is that someone who has succeeded is not leading you. If you get someone who knows where they call Oshodi from here, he will guide you effortlessly to Oshodi because he knows the place. You want to go on your own, you are likely going to find yourself in Oshobo instead of Oshodi because they sound alike. And because you've not been there, you will go to Oshobo and not Oshodi. But someone who knows Oshodi will get you there in less than 20 minutes because he knows the way. Look for someone that knows the way and is willing to take you. Praise God. Stock market. Please, the stock market investment is fantastic, but I want to plead with you. There is a mentality I want to knock off every mind of anybody that wants to make investment in Nigeria. Investment is you put money somewhere, that money is working and growing on its own and returning something, right? In Nigeria today, pay attention. There is no place that is safe where you can put 100,000 and at the end of the month, you will get more than 5,000. Did you hear me? There's no place in this country, Nigeria. No place, quote me anywhere. There's no place in Nigeria. There's no business in Nigeria. There's no investment where you put 100,000 and at the end of 1 month, you get 5,000. It doesn't exist. Anybody that promises you that money must go. It's only a matter of time. It can last 2 years, it can last 3 years, but that money, it must go. And when it's going, it's not going alone. It will go with both the ones that I don't want to go far. So stock market, if you are looking for portfolio return, when you read these things, don't think we are talking about you put 100,000 every month is giving you 10,000. No, sir. Those things are where people put money and it grows like a seed. Over time. I invested in Dangote Cement since 2018. I bought those shares at 195. Today, they are selling for 285. 2018 to today is how many years? 5 years. Are you willing to wait? You will quickly sell it and go and use it to buy clothes. But I have left that money there, and it's growing gradually. Now, portfolio return in Nigeria is too tiny to worth it for you. If you have 100,000, please go and use it and buy a course online. That's the best investment you can do. If you are under the age of, if your income has not grown so big that you can put in a 1 million naira and not looking at it. You can put down 500,000 without thinking about it. That is not yet money for portfolio investment. Put it in yourself. Invest it in yourself. It's no money for renting house. It's no money for buying shoe. It's no money for buying. It's money for investment in yourself. Because when you invest enough in yourself, soon you will start generating so much income that you can readily put down 1 million in a real estate they are selling for 800,000. Use 200,000 to do the papers. It's 1 million. Next 2 months, you put another one. In 5 years, you look around. Your portfolio of real estate is now worth about 5 million, 6 million. 10 years after, you can now tell the stories you hear, which I told God I must tell, and I'm telling already. Do you know that I bought that land for 5 million? Today it's selling for 50 million. Do you like such stories?
Yes.
Those men started it gradually and gently. And for me, it happened in the last 4 years. A place I bought for 2 million. Today, those plots of land are selling for 8 million.
Wow.
Within 4 years. And now I can tell the stories I used to hear about Lekki and Ikoyi, that they were selling land there for 1 million, for 2 million. Today it's for 100 million. My brother bought land in Nikon. How much?
13 million.
13 million, 1-3. Today, how much?
A land is 400 million. Or so.
How much? Put your microphone in your mouth.
400.
400 million. Land that was sold for how much?
13
million. How many years ago?
22. I bought that land 206 or 287.
2006 or 2007. Let's even take 2007. Right? Today is how many years? 16 long years. That's what it took. But patience makes it happen. Now you want the one you will buy 1 million today, tomorrow you sell it 2 million. No, sir. It is scammers that sell such things. So please, stock market is a place you put your money, allow it, buy blue chips, good companies, leave them there, and it will keep growing gradually, trickling. You can be putting in 20,000, 50,000. It is not such that by the end of the year, the 200,000 you have put would have turned to 250. No, sir. It may still be 215,000 out of 1 year, or it will turn to 198.
Yeah.
But one thing is sure, over time, somebody say over time.
Over time.
Over time, it is surely going to at least keep your capital for you when you buy blue chips. And then grow so that you can now sell it and buy land. Did you get the gist?
Yes, sir.
You can't buy land 20,000, except for the ones I see them advertising, which I'm afraid of. I want to buy a land and secure it immediately and have my papers. I don't want to start giving you 20,000. After 5 years, they will say that that one I was paying for has finished. And because I didn't finish, I can't get it. They have moved me to Oshoroko or Ibeji. Be putting your money in stock blue chips, Dangote, Zenith, GTB. Be putting 10,000, 20,000. In 3 years, you notice that you now have 500,000. Go and look for a land they are selling 400,000. Outright buying. Buy the land, secure it with the remaining 100,000. That way, you have built your portfolio gradually. God bless you.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, just a quick question, Pastor Meka.
Question?
Yes, on the buy the land, secure it. So, like in Lagos, we know all the stories of, what happens with all these guys, Omonile and all that. So when you say secure the land, do you advise the person to buy the land, fence it or something to be sure it's secured apart from the documentation?
Fencing is the last part of securing your property. Because if you fence a land that does not have any document, the day bulldozer will come, that fence does not exist. It will remove it. So here comes again mentorship. Take it from me. I never started buying a piece, a square meter, without talking to experts in that field. Our Pastor Mike is here. He will agree with me. I talk to you, right? And each time I keep asking him, how do we secure this thing we bought? He will tell me, do this, do this. There is one I've not done. I will do it, Abi. So I listen to experts in that field. If you want to buy property, there are experts, brethren, that will not even charge you money. Talk to them. Don't hide it.
Better pay them, please.
Pay them. Pay them. That will make the work better because they will now do professional job for you. Of course, all the barrister didn't I pay you the one you did. I paid now. So anytime you need to do anything, ask questions. Mommy, honestly, securing land is not fencing it. Because the value of any property is the document. What title? That's what they call it in law. What title does this land have? Is it C of O? Is it Gazette? Is it governor's consent? Whatever. They will tell you the least valuable title that you should buy. For me, I started with, if it doesn't have C of O, I will not pay. I will wait until I see the one that has C of O. Or minimum, my architect told me, minimum governor's consent. That's what he told me. And for that reason, there's no property I have that doesn't have it. I will wait until I see it. Good things know the finish. If you look and wait enough, it will come. And then you will buy it. Don't be in a haste. That they said, if you don't pay today, somebody else will buy it. Let him buy. Another one is coming tomorrow. Be patient until that one you can confidently say, this is verified. Can I tell you something? I pay one brother often to go to Alausa for search. That money they pay for search is too small in my eyes. You are trying to buy a property of 1 million. Why can't you pay 20,000 to search it out? I pay every time. And they will go and search, what is the title on this document? Not what the seller told me. Because anybody that wants to sell market will say all the good things about his market. Abi? So I go to ask the government who I will face tomorrow. I won't face this seller tomorrow. I will face government. So I go to government to ask them, what's the title on this land? After searching one, the quantity surveyor or general in Lagos told my brother to come and tell me that if I have not paid for that land, I should not wait till tomorrow. I should pay immediately. And immediately I pay. Today, no stories. And it's growing. So that's your plug, man.
Awesome. Let's appreciate him, please. Now, I want to give Pastor Tony an assignment. While he's thinking on the answer to the assignment, we'll take one or two questions from the people that are standing. Sir, how do you generate creative business ideas? This is very important, particularly for those of us who are still in school and you want to survive while in school. I did businesses when I was in school. Yes. If I was not a lawyer, I would have been a businessman. Okay. From school, I used to go to Onitsha main market. to go and buy books and sell to my colleagues. It's a long story anyway, but at a point I became the sole distributor in my faculty, and as a student I was making money and saving money, but I didn't have investment ideas. So I will meet Pastor Meka for that. Pastor Meka, I will come to your house for that discussion.
You pay.
So how do you generate creative business ideas? Okay, while he's thinking of that, can we hear from you? Tell us your name and then ask your question. Please, not a testimony question.
Praise the Lord. My name is Bro Kingsley from Ebwe Parish. So why I want to ask this question is based on what we learned from the maiden edition of Arise last year's own. So one of our leaders during last year's edition is into entertainment. So, and many things has been eating me up. And I was like, this kind of thing, I don't know. I don't know whether it will sell or it will not sell. So I want to ask, is it wrong to push, to venture into entertainment? Because this time around, you see things that are online, skits. So sometimes I will have this inspiration that from the Bible, there are a lot of stories in the Bible. You can bring out something there, use it and make a skit. I want to ask, is it that it will not sell? Or like, these days, people don't want something that is nonsense that they like. Is it that that idea will not sell? That is number one. Number two is it...
Let's listen now, except you know the answer.
Number two is, from the Bible let us know that when the righteous are on throne, that the people rejoice. Is it a wrong idea to have interest in politics? That is my two questions.
That first question was actually meant for Bro Paul Igwe, but he's not here. But I'm sure that Mommy Rosalind can look at it. Yes, from what can sell and what cannot sell. Yeah, that's a field. And so I'm not an authority in that area. So, Ma, over to you.
Okay, the first thing is, who exactly do you want to talk to? In selling a product, you have to have a target audience. And you have a core target. You have the primary target, then you have the secondary target. Now, you that you want to go into skit making, like, who exactly? With that, definitely you have an inspiration. And that inspiration has some people that you're in mind that you want to talk to. So, if you look at it and the skit you want to make is for, I don't know, Christians, so to say, since you said it's Bible stories, is it, then you ask yourself, is it big enough to give you the kind of returns that you intend to get from it? So the main thing is having your focus on your target market. So since that is your target market, then you can actually now look at it and see how you get it to grow. We've heard about patience. So if that is where you're focusing, then focus on it and push it and put all the, what do they call it now? When you advertise, you kind of promote them online and all those kind of things, intending to make sure that you actually push it to the highest, targeted audience online, depending on how you want to push it, and it will definitely sell if that is where your focus is. Because, like I talked about yesterday, Sissy Winans is all about music, and her music is Christian music, and she's winning Grammys, competing with people who are doing the secular, So, but it depends on the passion that you put behind it and how you plan it and how you launch it. So, launch it properly, understand your market, and push it adequately, and it will be able to fly, definitely.
Beautiful. Can we appreciate her, please? For the second leg, should Christians go into politics? I think that question, events that have happened over time, or for some time now, has overtaken that question, in the sense that as Christians, it is high time for us to begin to go into politics. It's high time. It's high time. As I was going home yesterday and then coming back this afternoon from my parish, I had to minister my place and then come down. Every street I drove through to get to this place, you have at least one church on every street. And I was asking myself, how come we have so many Christians in this country and we are not making impact? All right? when I was in school, I was in politics. I was we call it Attorney General of the school. Yes, I was very much in SUG politics. And at the same time, I was a campus pastor. Okay? And because I was a pastor and also into politics, my faith as a Christian was exhibited in my secular position. One of the things I did in my faculty is that you dare not come into that faculty dressed anyhow as a lady or as a young man. I will make sure that I take up your matter and then up to the dean. So there was sanity, there was good dress sense in the faculty. And even those who were cultists became afraid of me. It's just that I needed to respect myself so that, there won't be clashes. But when you have touched somebody and the person comes to tell you, Oyaga, now because now you know what it means, and then you talk to them. So the point is, I was able to make impact because of my faith and then get into politics. I don't know how else to say it, but it is time for us to be politically conscious and then to make impact in our environment. I know we are being heavenly conscious, but we should not be earthly useless. All right, let's listen to our sister.
Praise the Lord. Okay, my question is directed to our pastor, Emeka. You said something when you were talking, and you said when you want an opportunity, you got into stock, and said you were looking for that opportunity and they were turning you down. And so until eventually you got one. Now I want to ask, what sustained you through this period? Because these things can be discouraging at times. I can talk from the shoe I'm currently in now. Because when you want to learn and nobody's giving you the space, and the next thing they turn you out and they say, no, go, you don't have space. Now, what sustained you? Now, the second question is, how did you cope? You said they didn't pay you. Like, how did you cope through that period of working without pay and learning? Because I just want to understand what actually was spurring you through those periods. And finally, I want to also ask, when you went to see that man on Monday, what gave you an edge? Like, what gave you that, edge that he gave you listening ear and he gave you opportunity? Because I've seen that if you look around, nobody's willing to help anyone that is willing to learn. Everybody just keeps turning you out and not giving you the space. And you're begging for the space to actually learn. You are not willing to make money, but learn. But yeah, they keep turning you out. What actually gave you, is there something I'm not doing right, or there's something I need to do to actually, I'm not thinking of giving up actually, far from it. I'm not willing to give up yet, at least not now. But I want to know, what did you do that it was different? Praise the Lord.
Before Pastor Emeka answers, sir, we know that the grace of God was sufficient. We know that one. Don't tell us that one. Tell us another one.
It's Pastor Tony, you should tell that. Because each time I ask him to teach me how to make money, he said, "My grace." So. Hallelujah. So I'll answer it with bullet points because of time, please. One is, what kept me going when people turn me down is because I know somebody will say yes. I don't know where he is. I don't know when it is, but I know somebody will say yes. Because what I'm looking for is looking for me. You talked about mindset. You see me as I'm here. Every day, everywhere I go, I believe I'm the person they are waiting for. This my boss, I'm telling you, that promotes me. Deep in me, I know he loves me. Deep inside me, I've never thought that this man doesn't like me. Never. Somebody else will think, why is he talking to me like this? Am I not a man? Am I not an adult like him? And then he walks away. For me, I said it is his love for me that makes him talk to me that way, so that I will get better. So mindset is of the essence. Listen, while you were talking, I already see you smiling where you were accepted.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. You will surely be accepted. So that's it. Just know that somebody is waiting for you. That's one. Two, you said, is there anything that gave me edge? You can't stop a man with passion. You can't resist it. When you hear me talk, you see the passion. When you see me act, well, if I come to a place and we are walking, I don't walk like every other person. I want to walk differently. Even in the current work I do, I want to walk differently. So as soon as people see you, and let me say it again, My brother Tony here, sorry I'm still pointing to you, but because we are very close, we see almost all the time. He's always looking for somebody to hire. As I speak, there's somebody you are looking for.
Yes, sir.
But do you know what? He's not looking for just anybody. There is a kind of person he's looking for. And take it from me. You must ask yourself, what is that kind of person that they are looking for? Make yourself that kind of person. As soon as they see you, they say, that's it. So I always make myself that person they are looking for whatever I'm looking for. So, and I think you are like that kind of person they are looking for. The last question, please.
What sustained you?
Okay, how did I sustain myself? It's not once, it's not twice. Anytime I say, don't pay me, they will end up paying me.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you start working as if you will be paid, the person you even set and go pay. Because you are delivering results. Take it from me. You will never bring value to the table and go without value.
Yes. Come on. Awesome. Write it down. You will need it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask this question. I want to ask 3 questions. How do you find and discover your passion when you are in the midst of sidetractions? Like, just in our world today, we have this thing is catching my attention, this thing is catching my attention. So how do I find my passion and sustain it? So the second question is business, so like an entrepreneur. So I've discovered recently, because of the devaluation of the Naira, the net worth of Dangote dropped. So I want to ask, and for me, I'm this person who is passionate about Nigeria. So is it better starting up in a country where you know that the currency will keep your net worth high, or you should stay back home and don't maybe take the shock whether the currency goes up or comes down?
This second question, Sister Lusana will answer it. Then the first question, Mommy Tony will answer it. Then I will now come back to Pastor Tony. No, Mr. Lusana first. Your own is, how do you generate creative ideas?
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, that's about discovering purpose or passion.
Yes.
Okay, I think first of all, you need to know there must be something you're good at. Find that thing that when you do, it makes you happy. And don't be too fast to join the crowd, like this person is doing and it seems well, you want to do like that person. If you have some group of friends that have good sense, try to get feedbacks from them. You must have had somebody say you are good at this, you are good at this, you are good at this. And from those things they say you are good at, look inward and find where you are good at. Settle for that and develop yourself from that point. Then, also, if you can do a personality test, there are some that you pay for. You can pay for John Maxwell own. That one is more elaborate. There are some that are free. What that does to you is it asks you so many questions that will, pull you out. And at the end, the results will come out. And from that result, you will find elements of yourself. You will definitely discover, they will tell you your strengths, your weaknesses, and many things you're good at, what you can venture in. And when you sit down with yourself to begin to think those things through, you will actually know that they are true. So start from one. And when you start from one, many other ones will open up. Then talking about where to start from, I think it's best to start from where you are and have a global mindset. Start with what you know you can do. Start with where you are. You're familiar with the environment where you are. You're familiar with the limitations. You're familiar with the challenges. You have seen people do it and succeed. You have people, but starting a totally new environment can be more challenging than where you are. So start from where you are. Read up things about that niche you want to venture into. How were people able to circumvent those challenges? And you would see that when you're able to start, because one of the challenges is, first of all, starting. You must have built a very mighty company and even started in your mind, and when you think of starting, you will still be. Start from where you are. If you can't start from where you are, you can't start from another place. And those obstacles, you will always start with that mentality that you will see obstacles. Because when you start with it's going to be all roses. You're making the worst mistake from the starting. So see obstacles from the advantage point of view. Because the first stage of victory is your ability to take obstacles to your own advantage. So when you're able to do that, you have succeeded in that your mindset to being victorious. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Omitoyin. Where's the brother? I know I heard currency. So, Dangote's net worth. Okay, that was what I heard. You were calling currency. The second question that has to do with currency.
Okay, I said coming to start up a business or founding a company. So I noticed that recently Dangote lost his position as the richest man in Africa due to devaluation of the currency. So I'm trying to know, is it better going to a land where you know that, okay, the currency won't be so easily devalued and you keep your net worth high, or should you remain back home and just because of your love for home? And sorry, please don't be offended. I forgot a question I wanted to ask due to tension.
Wait first. I don't want to forget this one. Ma, you know why I'm asking you that question is you mentioned when you were talking about working remotely and earning foreign currency and the rest of that. So, do we need to change location for us to earn currency that cannot be affected by the devaluation of Naira? That is the basic question.
Okay, well, Nigeria has a lot. The resources in this country are so much. And then, because people are not aware, they are not tapping into it. And then, makes it look like the only option is to go abroad. But there are people that are making so much here that when you come to know or read their story, you find that you may not necessarily have to go abroad. Like our sister said, if you cannot start here, you probably may not be able to start there. Yes, our currency is not stable. Nothing is actually stable here. What is it that you can hold on to? So, but is there enough reason to go out? If you find enough reason to go out, honestly go out. If you have, I'm an advocate of you want to go in a legal way. If you get a good job, you get there are a lot of opportunities abroad. But that's not to say there are also more opportunities here. So it's really relative. Like, I have a remote job, actually. But even if I go abroad, how much more will I earn if I can earn this much here? But why it's relative also is that you look at cost of living here and compare. So it's not easy to give a yes or no answer. But one thing I can tell you is that there are so much in this country. While I was talking, I was telling us about my boss earning about 40 million in a month. That is a lot. And there are people that are earning more than that. And there are young people. In my estate, we used to have a young man. His apartment is directly opposite our own. He does not go out in the day. He just goes out in the evening. You know, many people will assume the Yahoo boy. No. So many people are working remote and are making so much in this country. I told us about a young man that was doing 3 jobs, and last year he made $344 million. Although he's not a Nigerian, but is it about his environment? There are a lot of, the company I work for in US, there are no less than 10 Nigerians here in Nigeria working for the same company. So you can tap into the much resources that are available here. You can be here and actually be playing global. I have a colleague that the wife does export. They will just go to Benin, buy palm oil, they package it, put label, and export to US. That lady, they graduate, but is not looking for work, making so much, earning in foreign currency. Of course, if you are earning in foreign currency, whether Naira is devalued or not, you are still making your money. So it's really relative. but the opportunities are here. But that not today, if somebody has opportunity to study abroad. Especially like when I was talking about going abroad, I was speaking more about fresh graduates. People really, you will finish studying in school and they offer you 80,000 naira. And as you finish, they offer you 200,000. 200,000 is even a lot, but really how much? Globally, what is the value of your 200,000? Can it take you home? Can you rent a house? Can you be comfortable with it? So for some people that probably have a funding and you have a sponsor or you have a way to go abroad to study, make your life better, you probably will get something better coming back or you get something good while you are there. But if you're already here, there's so much. Even while you are here, you can start a business, can get into remote space, but really, there's a lot of opportunity.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, she mentioned somebody who is earning $344,000 per annum. I saw that there was no reaction. It was because we didn't know how much that money was. Honestly, sorry, man, I need to stand up, man. Pastor Baker said he's angry. Now I'm angry. $344,000. What is it, million dollars? Thousand. Thousand now. Wait first. 344,000 times 765 naira CBN rate as at yesterday into naira is 263 million. Oh, now you are shouting. Now you see, we said we need to be unlimited, and this is just the truth. There's no limit as to what you can achieve. There's no limit as to what you can earn. That was something she said that when she was working, when she started working, she discovered that her salary was somebody's tithe. May your salary not be anybody's tithe. I am going to organize my house this night. We need to pray that my salary will not be anybody's tithe. If my boss, what I am earning in a year is what he's earning in a month, I need to step up. All right, sir. Creative business ideas. How do you generate them?
Wow. Okay, so just to add to the Dangote question, she talked about opportunities, right? If Dangote were like to be in another country, one question you should have asked yourself: would he have been the Dangote of today? So that is where you talk about opportunities. That's immediately she mentioned opportunities. It clicked very well. So we have a lot of opportunities here, so much opportunities. How do we create business ideas or creative business ideas? Okay, so every business comes via idea, right? But it's not all that are creative. So now, for every one of us in this space, what we're encouraging every one of us is to make sure that these our ideas comes out as a creative business. We talked about going the extra mile, putting in the creativity needed just to make sure that it comes out to wow people. So every business is a product of idea. Now, how do you do so? How do you create it? First of all, most times, it's always from above. It's almost from above. God opens up secrets for us. And most times, when these secrets are open, it may look so common. But to all the people that started it, when you go back to their stories, you will see how common it was. But right now, that idea, because they were able to boldly start it. That's why today we are celebrating them. So every business started as an idea, and these ideas mostly comes from above, and then they can represent passion, like we've talked about. They can come in form of problems that we are seeing around us. I think one of our speakers said the same thing. Every day you walk past problems, and you are not seeing them as an idea. Today, before I came here, I was in Ikoyi prison. We had administration in Ikoyi prison. And I was telling them one of the ideas, one of the information that I got, that only God knows how much millions, not in tens, that I made from it. We were just in Dubai, and then in a particular shop, a Nigerian that is also doing so well just passed an information. Just passed an information. That information immediately got into my ear, translated to business. And I made not more than 200 million, I made a lot of money from just that association that passed that information. You know, so there are businesses everywhere, and this information come across. We every day we pass them. Look at the woman in 2 Kings. This oil, she felt it was the last, not knowing that this is an auction of, you know, if not that the capacity, that is the vessel, you know, the warehouses, you know, it's like you got warehouses, all of a sudden you say, I don't have warehouses again to store these goods. All of a sudden, you start being rude to your customers by chasing them away. I have enough customers. All of a sudden, you started feeling, I have arrived. Like our sister Rosaline now. She feel, I have been celebrated enough. But, you know, our brother said something, that may his tithe never be somebody's, may his salary or take home never be somebody's salary, somebody's tithe. But mark my word, till the unlimited that we are talking about, till thy kingdom comes, till Jesus comes, your whole 1 year salary will always be somebody's tithe. I'm telling you, your whole 1 year salary will always, till Jesus comes, so until you become the Elon Musk of our time. You know, like until you become the #1 richest man. If not, people are making money in such a way that this $340,000 is somebody's daily income. It's somebody's daily income. You know, so businesses are there, but the most important thing is still the same thing I talked about, staying with it. And then part-time, you know, our sister said something. That, in fact, I snapped that her chat yesterday, where she talked about after the optimization, the last one is what? To master. You optimize, you keep optimizing, you know. You have to keep optimizing that business idea. You have to keep optimizing that business idea until you become a master in it. So every business idea, you know, it comes from God, it comes from idea, it comes from information around us, it comes from challenges. Like, you know what I mean? Challenges. If maybe you are about going home now, and from here to, okay, let me tell you about Waka now. Yeah, Obinekeze happens to be my friend. Yeah, with that, I think I should be able to sell this point home. Obinekeze came in from America one of the times, and then he was traveling to Owerri. He got to the airport. Lo and behold, he missed his flight. And it was either he go back home, or he start calling his agent to book another flight for him. Immediately, that idea came to him. Why can't people book their flights from their phones? That is the bet of Wakana. You see the Wakana you have today, that is what bet it. Instantly, you know, his father is rich, and because Wakana actually took a lot. And then they started bidding on the idea, got the best brains, did a lot of things. And today, you may not know how disruptive Wakana is to all these people that sell tickets, that sell tickets in the shop. And then, what about Uber? What about Booking.com? You know, we are in a limitless world. Uber doesn't own one taxi, yet it controls the highest numbers of taxis. When it was coming up, I used to tell my friends that do yellow, whenever I enter a yellow cab, I'll tell them, stop this thing, or migrate. They say, don't worry, nothing will ever happen. My brothers, anybody that, if you sit in between technology, it will crush you. If anybody tells you that technology is not real, it is what? So real. Today, Booking.com makes a lot of money. Yet, it doesn't own one hotel. All these are making ideas creative. So please, all these things come from information. All these things come from discussion that you're having with people. By today alone, a lot of people have started making a lot of money by coming here alone on how to you know, stream. Okay, today the streaming companies. Look at Netflix. Our pastor, let me end with this. Our pastor talked about a brother that came to him and said, please, this is my business. My village people are after me. I'm no more doing well. I'm no more doing this thing. You know, Pastor Namdan, how funny he is. Pastor Namdan asked him, what do you do? He said, I sell CDs. Like, you do what? You sell CDs. We are talking about Prime. We are talking about Netflix. We are talking about so many streaming companies. And you are still there selling what?
Sir, village people will go after a village man.
Okay, so there is something I sent to Brockens while our brother was talking about stock market. This was actually tweeted by Warren Buffett, the man that from nowhere, these are the kind of people I would like every one of us to surround ourselves with. Surround yourself with people that push, okay, yeah, you can read it up yourself. Surround yourself with people that push you to do and be better. No drama or no negativity. That's why we shouldn't joke with our pastor. Can we give it up for him now? Honestly, I celebrate this man anywhere I go. I celebrate him anywhere I go because what he's doing via all these platforms that God has made him to create is amazing. Just higher goals and higher motivations, good times and positive energies, no jealousy or hate, simply bringing out the absolute best in each other. Just last 2 weeks, Elon Musk met with the present richest man in the world. That is, what is his name? The guys that did Louis Vuitton and all. And there is no hate. They met in one of the most expensive restaurants in Paris. What would they be talking about? Now they are talking about how to help the world. And yet, God has called us to help nations. We are called to help nations now. Look, Bill Gates, that's why this week is so important too. Like this week that just ended. Bill Gates just left Nigeria. What is he coming to do in Nigeria? How to help this country, Nigeria? Have you grown your business in such a way that nations are calling you now to help them? If you've not yet done so, then there is still a lot to do. Thank you so much.
Please, if your hand is your own, clap it, clap it. Clap it very well. Clap it. If you know you didn't borrow that hand, clap it very well. This is awesome. If you have not groomed yourself or built your level and exposure to a point where nations are calling you to help them, then you have not started. I think we need to go and think about that. Now, I'm going to take a last word for this session from our panelists, and then I will tell you a lot of other things before we close. Number one is that we are having a mentorship platform. From the feedbacks we got last year, many people actually asked that, can we have a forum where we can be mentored? And the team sat together and we said that would be a good one. So this year we are having mentors, and I'm so happy that a lot of them are in the house today. We have Pastor Tony, is one of our mentors. We have Sister Roslyn, she's one of our mentors. Pastor Emeka is one of us. Sister Lutana is one of us. Pastor Solomon is one of us. Can you clap your hand for them? Because they're going to be doing a lot of work. In the Young Adult Forum, we don't believe in talk. We believe in talk and action. So you will have the privilege of joining the different mentorship platforms that we have created. And these men and women who have paid the price will mentor you one-on-one. It will not just be social mentoring or virtual mentoring. You also have the opportunity of meeting with them one-on-one. Somebody sent in a phone number and said, can I meet you? Don't worry, the platform is there where you meet with them. And I am very sure of Pastor Emeka. Pastor Emeka will never invite you to a meeting where he will not feed you. So, I want to join Pastor Emeka's mentorship platform. because I'm sure of food. But on a very serious note, don't leave this place without joining the mentorship platform. Very easy. The QR codes are up. They are there on the doors. That is why we had to lock all the doors for us to have the papers pasted. Scan the papers and make sure you join the mentorship platform, because the conversation would continue even after now. All right? Now, Arise, Aruka program is coming up October 1st. You cannot afford to miss it. Aruka this year is 5.0. 5. That is the 5th year running back to back, consecutive. So you cannot afford to miss Aruka this year. All right. Now in September, Aflame is coming up. Aflame is a 24 hours prayer stretch from 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. Those who were here last year, can you raise your hand if you were here? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So get ready for Aflame September, with the date to be announced soonest, and then the flyers will be up. So come, let's pray. Let's seek the face of God. Like we're taught today in church, let's bring down the hand of God into this nation. And may I also say to us that the music talent hunt is on right now. The registration is on right now. If you have a musical talent, you are between the age of 14, 14 to 26. All right, so I'm correct. 14 to 26. Please, please, please make sure you enroll, you register for that talent hunt. It's going to be very massive. The one of last year was so beautiful, and I can assure you that this year you just cannot know how far it will go. So we are doing all of these things to discover talents in the midst of the watchman. Gone are the days when young adults will say that the church does not have a platform for us. They don't have any plan for us. We have plan for you. Let me tell your neighbor, church get plan for you. We have plan for you. So take advantage of all of this. Join the platform for mentorship. Very important. Before you leave here today, join the platform for mentorship so that we can continue the conversation online. So from Pastor Mika down to Pastor Tony, one word for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful audience.
Go in this thy might. So, just to say, make sure you get something you love and focus on it. Stay on it. You will achieve something great.
Let's clap for him, please. Thank you so much, sir. Mommy Rose?
Yeah, so from me, they say the best truth that is told is the truth you tell yourself. And truthfully, as all these conversations have been going on, I've been, kind of weighing myself to see if I'm actually up to date, So, and I'm sure it's a good exercise for all of us here. So you can check yourself. There are some people that most of these things we are talking about now is sounding like Greek because they don't even know what is really happening. And these are the things that matter for you to actually move from point A to point B. So like you said, look at those your skills now. Optimize, optimize, optimize until you become a master, until you become a star. If we set our goals today, come, Arise next year. Let's tell ourselves we'll come with our testimonies and definitely it will shine. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Mommy Toyin.
Okay, my message is you cannot picture in a future that you cannot picture. So it starts with the mental picture. Where do you want to be? Going from here and in the next 5 years and then the next 10 years, where you want to. And also, if your heart can conceive it, if it's such that your mind can carry it, your hand can achieve it. Others are succeeding. Success is not anybody's birthright. If they can succeed, you too can succeed. If anyone has ever achieved it, you too can achieve it. So I encourage you, go for it. Your limit is not the sky. Our limit is beyond the sky.
Hallelujah. Mr. Lieutenant.
I think it has been said all. What else to say? But I would say that after now we should write down that vision. You don't need to be clear enough about what it is. But as it is in your heart, the way it has entered your heart, you don't have to have the whole picture of how it looks like. Write it down and keep it in a place you will always be gazing at it. And the more you keep looking at it, the more you would see those things that you thought are boundaries in your mind taken away just by looking at it, just by musing it out. In the face of that challenge or numerous failures, and you gaze at it, your heart might be too heavy to even voice it out, and you'll be like, can this thing actually be achieved? It can be achieved if you keep on gazing at it, talking about it, and taking a step every day, no matter how small. Just make sure you're taking a step. Just make sure you're growing. A mother and a father might not know that their children are growing. Every day you keep on seeing that your daughter. You can't catch them growing, but you just know that she is 5 years today, and the other time she was 3, but it's not the same height. And that's how growth happens. So, and you would succeed, and we will all succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make sure you remain hungry. Make sure, don't ever think you've arrived. And that is the unlimited that we talked about in all this program. Your consciousness and your unconscious mind should get aligned with the thoughts you've got in from this meeting in such a way that you will never rest until you see the results. Evidence. Can somebody shout evidence?
Evidence.
Can somebody shout evidence?
Evidence.
Lastly, evidence.
Evidence.
We want you to come back in the next Arise meeting with your word.
Evidence.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Can we clap for every of our speakers? It's been awesome. It's been wonderful.